Here comes John Kwasniewski from way up north in Lackawanna, New York, just to the right of Buffalo, going up against Chuck Jordan and Dirty Dancing, a Dodge Chevy matchup. John Kwasniewski bouncing his way over the cars. And the victory, Chuck Jordan with the old spring-style truck having a lot of trouble maneuvering here in Houston. And Johnny K shaking his head saying he doesn't like the way his truck handles. He's going to have some time before the next round to make some adjustments to the shots. Let's see if we can pick up what John was shaking his head about. Well, there's the problem. The suspension's too stiff. There's no give to it. He's going to have to loosen things up. Hey, Ken, that's our first round action. The win for Tremor.
Hey, man, when we say wall-to-wall monster truck racing, we mean it. Was that wild or what? Let's catch our breath just for a second. When we come back, round 2 action from Houston, Texas, when the Monster Truck Challenge Series continues in just a moment. Welcome back, everybody. I tell you what, it's right. You don't have a scorecard. You can't keep track of all this stuff. What do we have? 1 round complete, and we're down to only 14 trucks? Here's what we have next in round 2. Bigfoot will take on Toughen Up this time out. Clydesdale and Wild Hare will do battle, as will Wild Thing and the Warrior. Tropical Thunder will square off against No Problem, and the Auto Value Special will see the Hawk in the other lane. Blue Max comes off a first-round bye. He'll see his first action against Dirty Dancing. And Buffalo Tremor and King Crunch round out the field. First Blood is unable to answer the bell for round 2. Hey, is keeping track of all this fun or what, Joe Lowe?
Hey, not only watching them fun, keeping track of them fun, but eating this Texas chili is fun, Ken. Let's go. Bigfoot, Toughing Up, Chevy and Ford confrontation side by side in the Houston Astrodome. They're staged, they're set, here they go. And look at this, Toughing Up. No, Toughing Up had Andy Brass off the line, but Bigfoot comes from behind, turns it on, and beats Toughing Up. The win goes to Bigfoot. Look at this. 2 old competitors going against one another. Clydesdale and Wild Hare. Marvin Smith and Wild Hare, and Bennett Clark and Clydesdale. And Bennett Clark comes from behind for a win. Clydesdale sponsored by Hardy Chevrolet in Georgia. Here comes John Moore and No Problem. The HPX No Problem, brand new sponsor for him, up against Wayne Smozanek and Tropical Thunder. Ford GMC matchup, both taking it easy and turning it on after the initial hill. Tropical Thunder tries to come from behind, but John Moore and the HPX No Problem holds on for the win at the line. You can see it here. John Moore first over the cars and with a win. Oh boy, here comes the Auto Value Racer and Scott Stevens going up against the Hawk. 2 Chevys on the line. Mark Pristash and the Hawk. Scott Stevens and the brand new Auto Value Racer, and the Racer races to victory. The Hawk is left, still running the race. So Scott Stevens advances. Here comes Blue Max and Dirty Dancing. Our first look at Larry Nukaya and Blue Max tonight up against Chuck Jordan and Dirty Dancing. Again, taking it easy, turning it on, and Blue Max over the finish line. Whoa, the entire rear end comes out from under Blue Max. Larry Nukaya, you got some problems, buddy. He gets out of the truck and wants to look at that. The entire rear end just came out from under the truck and the frame separated. Here comes Buffalo Tremor and King Crunch. Rob Grossman out of Spring, Texas in King Crunch. John Kwasniewski from Lackawanna, New York in the Tremor. Turning on the power. Johnny K gets the win. The Buffalo Tremor advances to our next round. Here comes Wild Thing and the Warrior. The Warrior back because the Outlaw broke. Nick Rossi had some problems. We showed you that earlier. And by virtue of that, the Warrior is back against Wild Thing. Here we go. Wild Thing has a lead. What's this? Some smoke coming out of Wild Thing. Warrior almost catches him, but Wild Thing holds on. You can see the smoke right there. Wild Thing injured. Warrior tries, cannot catch him. Ken?
And then there were 7. The magnificent 7. Shoot it out when Monster Truck Challenge continues from the Astrodome in Houston in just a moment. You're looking at the Astrodome in Houston, where the dust is settled after 2 of the wildest rounds of racing we've ever had here on Monster Truck Challenge. Now, because of breakdowns, Bigfoot has guaranteed himself a spot in the round of 4. Other trucks weren't so lucky. They'll have to work their way to the semis. Those trucks are Clydesdale and Warrior, No Problem, and the Auto Value Special, and Dirty Dancing and Buffalo Tremor. Joe Lowe can probably feel the tremors down on the Astrodome floor. Joe?
Ken, being down on this floor with just a microphone for protection is a wild feeling, and we have some wild trucks loose on the track. The Clydesdale and the Warrior ready to go. The Warrior coming back. I told you there were some problems with Wild Thing. Warrior and Clydesdale side by side. Clydesdale pulls out ahead. Now watch what's going to happen. They're going to go up and turn around. We're changing the track to horseshoe style. We're in Texas, boy. And the Warrior just can't manipulate the turn. Clydesdale sails on to victory. Here comes John Moore in the HPX No Problem against the Auto Value Racer. Scott Stevens and John Moore have been here before. Ford and Chevy, Chevy and Ford side by side. Remember, we've added the horseshoe, we've added that turn here in the Astrodome. They're set to go. Scott Stevens out in front, John Moore catching up. Now John Moore has them. They have to go over that hill, make this turn, and Scott Stevens is first around. He outmaneuvers John Moore. Scott is an expert at using the rear steer, and the Auto Value Racer makes it 3 in a row. Here comes Dirty Dancing and Buffalo Tremor. Chuck Jordan in the Dodge Dirty Dancing against John Kwasniewski's Buffalo Tremor. A puff of smoke and a hearty here we go. Kwasniewski temporarily losing some power. Apparently he gets it back. Chuck Jordan struggling. Around the turn, Kwasniewski with the new design truck outmaneuvers the old leaf spring truck, and the Buffalo Tremor has to hobble, but he makes it across the finish line. Dirty Dancing's nowhere in sight. Here comes Chuck. Boy, you talk about having problems, Ken.
You know, the last time we were in Houston, I picked the truck Hawk because I like the name. I think this time I may go with Clydesdale because that was my sister's name. No, because I like the paint job. I'm a sucker for acrylic. We'll see how it all shakes down when Monster Truck Challenge continues in just a moment.